Okay, so the question, are you paying for the right things? Okay. This is one thing I like to really go over, with everybody, because everybody's doing something different, there's so much hype and fad diets out there, and this is where it gets people confused on, if they're doing the right thing, that's going to drive them results, right? So, I always try to say, okay, what are you currently paying for, right? Are you paying for the wrong things? Now, kind of think about this, right? So, there are, there are guns, houses, and cars, right? So you could get a Mazda, a Mazda Protege or something, right? A 95 for $2,000, or you could get a Lamborghini, right, for $200,000, right? Or you could get a little shack, a little trailer shack for maybe what, $10,000, or you could have a mansion that's, $500,000, right? Or if you're gonna go hunting, you could buy a water gun or a pistol, or you could get a rifle, right? So small little analogies to kind of think about, right? And, when I talk to people about, you know, what they want to do, some people have no idea what to do and they're just guessing, right? They're thinking, oh, well, I'll just kind of do this and then I'll try this. And, they just have zero idea of what to do. And this is similar to where, if you have four kids, are you going to get a minivan or a Lamborghini, right? If you have a family of 12, are you going to get a little shack or a little trailer or a larger house of a mansion, right? If you're going to go hunting for deer, are you going to try going hunting for a pistol, with a pistol, or with a rifle, right? So obviously, we would all make that more logical decision on what tool we're going to use or what decision we're going to make based off of our needs and exactly what we're trying to do, right? So, you know, um, when it comes to fitness, it kind of really annoys me that everybody's like, asking what to do. How do I build muscle? How do I lose weight? How do I get rid of my belly fat and whatnot? And I always try to figure out, like, well, what have you done in the past? So if you ever talk to me, I always ask, well, what have you done? And people obviously have, well, I've done CrossFit, I've done boot camps, I've done personal training, I've done this fad keto diet, I've done fasting, I've done, all this kinds of stuff. And people are just going and going and going on trying several different things. And, here's the problem in fitness, right? There's no specific median of fitness of what you need, right? You don't need personal training. You don't need, someone bossing you around telling you what to do in a boot camp or, or a juice cleanse, or it's, anything like that. What you need is knowledge. You just have to know how to actually do it. So it's really simple because when you know how to do it, there's no reason to be having to pay for several different things on trying to figure out how to do it. Because what you need is knowledge. You need to learn how to do it. Because once you learn how to do it, you will not have to spend any money looking for answers anymore. It's going to come down to a matter of now, it's just execution. I just got to do it. So keep that in mind is that knowledge is power. You need to be taught how to actually do it, right? This is the reason why professional athletes have coaches, right? Do you think Michael Phelps got to where he's at because just on his own, right? Do you think that he was just trying several different types of methods of swimming just to be able to, be great? No, he had a coach. He had somebody to teach him. He was already good, but he wanted to be great. So he has a coach, somebody to teach him, to push him, to keep him accountable, to make sure he actually did it. Good. That goes for, look at Manny Pacquiao, look at any professional athlete. Everybody has a coach. It's not a, well, do I need one? Do I not need one? No, it's everybody needs one in every particular aspect in life, whether it would be in business, relationship, life, health. Everybody needs guidance and knowing what to do because when you have the knowledge, it makes sense. And whenever the question comes, well, how do I burn fat and build, muscle, get rid of my belly fat? You'll know the answer. So this is why I tell people there's no need to be having to continuously pay for something year after year after year, just to, trying to get it. You could waste a lot of time doing that. And this is where I tell people, hey, like, do you have time to waste? They say, yeah. Hey, okay, well, you know what? Continue trying and doing everything you're doing, and see how that works out. Or you could come just straight to the source, get a direct answer, something that obviously is not a cookie cutter. No, it's custom to you. This is the answer for you because there's not one answer for everybody. Okay. You may not even know how to cook, and that's totally cool, right? You may love enjoying eating out. That's perfectly fine. You know, this is the reason why it needs to be specifically for you, right? Custom to you. So there's no right answer for everybody. Yes, the answer to burn fat and build muscle is the same answer, but how do you apply that into an individual? Well, that takes much more programming now into that person's lifestyle. What can be sustainable to do long term, right? So whenever you think about, well, people think, well, what's the price range, and whatnot? What's the monthly cost? I always get. It's like, well, there's not a monthly cost because this is not a large group program where everybody just pays the same thing. Like, I don't do cookie cutter programs where it's just like, oh, here it is and that's it. No, like, it depends on the individual, and this is why there's different price ranges in fitness. Okay. The same way that there's different price ranges in cars and houses, right? What do you get with $1,000 car, right? And what do you get with a $40,000 car? What are those differences? What is the difference between getting a small shack and what's the difference between getting a mansion? There are price ranges. So the same thing in when we think of health and wellness is that there are different price ranges for this. You could buy a little $50 um, online kind of informational guide from anybody online, right? You could join $100 boot camp class. It's here at the bottom, $100 boot camp class, right? See how that works out, which talk go to any gym and look at their group training classes. Look at any group training. People are there for a long time when these problems could be fixed in just 4 months, really, like realistically. So people you have your $50 informational guides, you have your $100 boot camps, your $200 group training, you have personal train, and these are all things where you're meant to do long term, years, right? Or you could come straight to the source and really just get the answer, get the knowledge you need, and there's no more guessing. There's no more guessing in what works, what doesn't work, separating, knowing the actual facts and not myths of what you're hearing from your cousin or your aunt or, this wellness coach who told you to do this. No, get the actual truth and the facts that specifically that are meant for you. Okay? Because everybody is different, which is why I say the answer for you specifically. And this is where, you know, how price range can vary because go and get a $50 program and tell me if it's going to be something geared specifically to you. Find out. You could waste money in trying to do all these things and seeing if what's going to work. And at the end of the day, this is why I get a lot of people who are like, I've already tried everything. I should have listened to you a year ago. So you know what? I give up. I'm just going to come to you now. Mind you, this is after spending thousands of dollars on several other things that just were unsuccessful or they were just temporary changes. Okay. So this is why I tell people knowledge is power. Okay. So you pay for what you get. And in something like this, you need to ask yourself, am I paying for the right thing? Okay. This is why my question to people is, are you looking to work out or are you looking to transform your body? Because those are completely different paths to take. Yeah, there are some older, elderly people who just want to exercise and whatnot. Like, okay, that's perfect. That's easy, right? But do you actually want to transform your life, your body? Do you want to transform your body? That's going to take a whole other course. Okay. So look at what you're currently doing, find out how long you've been doing it, and even think about what have you done in the past? Think about those questions. How much money have you wasted in the past? And with unsuccessful results, or if not that, temporary results. because there are several methods that could give you short-term results. Because I get people like that, like, yeah, I was doing personal training and it worked out great for me. And I'm like, okay, so why are you here then if it worked out great? Because obviously there was something missing there, or it was just a temporary kind of thing, right? Because if you gain the weight back, then it wasn't the right program. Because if the right program, all of my clients that I've seen in the last 12 years have kept the weight off. There's no rebounding, there's nothing like that. So if you gain the weight back, it was not the right thing for you. This goes back to the question, are you paying for the wrong things? If you've been doing your current program for 6 months or more, and your results maybe were only 10 pounds lost in 6 months or 10, 20 pounds in 1 year, it's probably not the right program, you know. So always ask that question, am I paying for the right thing? Do I want to go off of the people who are just going off rumors and, bro science, things they find on Google, or do I want to go straight to the source and get the right answer right away and not waste time? Because you could do that. You could save a lot of time, a lot of money, and trust me, I make it make sense for you because I believe that if people understand how to do it, and what the process is, they'll be like, oh, well, that's why I can't do that, or hey, this is why I could do this. So ask yourself that, right? Am I paying for the wrong things? And be honest with yourself. Don't let your pride and ego get in the way to where you're like, well, it did work. I did do great back then. Yeah, like I'm sure you did do great, right? But again, you could come up with every excuse of why you gained the weight back. But the reality is that it's there if you had the right way, no matter what life throws at you, you would have kept the weight down either way. All right. So aside from that, that's the question of the day, for this homework video is, are you paying for the right things? I'll see you in the next video.